Hello and welcome to another Beer Review. Today we have a bit of news. This weekend is the Great British Beer Festival going on, and I shall be heading down to there and hopefully meeting up with Sofa Keen Drunk and also Minty's Beer Reviews. I can't wait to meet them. So for this weekend there might not be a review, and I might possibly get to the 100th review while I'm away on the weekend, so I'll try and find something extra special at the Beer Festival to do for that. So I was thinking, what else could I do? What could I do to kind of link in with that? And I got some bottles from 5 Points Brewing Company down in London anyway. I got these when I was at the London Vegan Beer Festival, so I met the guys there. They're also at the London Craft Beer Festival, which is going on over this weekend. I think Thornbridge, Mikkeller, Brewdog, several other big breweries are there. So there's two big beer festivals going on at the moment down south in London. Hopefully I'll get along to the craft beer one and go and visit these guys. But 5 Points are a really nice bunch. Really talkative, as was everyone. Oh, I've never met a bad brewer. Every brewer I've ever met has been a really nice person. And this one in particular is their pale ale with Amarillo, Centennial and Citra hops. Citra being one of my favourite hops of all time, Amarillo being pretty similar to that, and Centennial being one of those 3C hops from America. So it's bound to be a little bit special. I like the branding they have on the bottles. They tend to have roughly the same kind of looking labels, different colours to kind of designate the different beers, and their little 5 Points logo on the top too. So let's crack it open, give it a try. Using a Belgian beer glass because my others are all in the wash. And it's coming out a delicious pale ale colour. That's a very typical colour that you see with these pale ales. Although it's probably a little bit darker than usual, more like an IPA sort of colour, so maybe it's a bit more. This is clocking in at 4.4%, so well within the range of a nice pale ale. There's a nice, thick, just about a finger head going on there. Hazy, kind of deep peach and amber colour. Could be chill haze, but because their beers are vegan, I believe these will be bottle conditioned. Yes, bottle conditioned, so they're unfiltered and unpasteurised, so they're going to be slightly cloudier than normal anyway, but that is a good thing, and yeast adds flavour to beer. I've always said it, and I still believe it to this day. I can smell this one already without popping it into my nose, but let's give it a smell. Ah, almighty, it's absolute grapefruit bomb. Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. It's exactly what I'd expect from an American style pale ale. It's just a lovely blending of really sour citrus flavours. Definitely grapefruit in stupendous abundance. It also smells a little bit dank as well, that deep hop oil flavour. Really dense, kind of pure hop smell. You're getting that as well. So I can tell it's, I'm not sure when this one was bottled. It does say on the side. It was bottled on the 26th of June, so this is a pretty new batch. It's, just less than 2 months old. So this is as fresh as you're going to get it if you're going to get it from a bottle shop online or something like that. And you can smell the freshness of the hops in it, so this is bound to be an absolute hop monster, or so I would think. So without further ado, let's get on there. Cheers, guys. Oh yeah. It is tremendously bitter actually. But just right. I like my beers to be bitter. If I'm going to try something that's going to be a hot monster, it has to have a bitterness to it as well. Bitterness ties in really well with this. Really fine carbonation and nice medium-bodied mouthfeel. So in the palate, it feels nice and chunky, and then it's got a nice kind of biscuit and caramel backbone of maltiness that just supports it along. And then there's a nice, very subtle though I would say, citrus flavour, and in particular I can taste hop oil, the kind of oily, resinous hop flavours, which I could just about get on the palate, that extra thickness, the dank, wet, fresh hop flavour. It's quite spicy as well. It kind of fizzles on the tongue in terms of flavour. I'm not sure whether it's kind of the bitterness that's doing it, or whether it's a spicy hot flavour, but that's extremely pleasant too. So it has a quite complex It's quite a complex hop flavour because you do get a bit of citrus through. There's an absolute slam in the tooth from bitterness. I mean, it really is quite astringent. I'd imagine it's not particularly IBU full, but it's not exactly got a huge malt body presence to kind of counterbalance it. But I like it. I mean, this is a balls to the wall bitter pale ale. It's not holding its punches. It's not trying to be. It's definitely sessionable. I can drink several of these, but it's not for the uninitiated in the ideas of American beer, shall we say. So it is very bitter, which is quite interesting. I'm afraid I don't particularly hugely know the philosophy behind 5 points. Whether this one in particular is meant to be an American style one, but judging by the hops, it has to be. I mean, Amaryllis, Centennial, and Citra. So, in terms of an American pale ale, I think it definitely sticks to the style extremely well. American pale ales are always going to be so much more hop flavour than British pale ales, which are much more balanced, more body, essentially. But I'm definitely very pleased with this. I like my beers bitter. So this is ticking the bitter box. It's ticking the complexity because I'm getting citrus, I'm getting spice, and it all blends together nice malt body, and also with that astringent bitterness, and the mouth feels good. So it ticks all the boxes for me. This is an easy 9 out of 10. It really is. This is not bursting the bubble and blowing out there with a completely new, fresh idea of mentalness and something that I've never tasted before, but it's definitely a very, very, very competent beer. It's the best pale ale I've tried in a good while. It definitely holds up. It definitely holds up. If I had a Sierra Nevada, which is one of my favourite pale ales, it definitely holds up to a Sierra Nevada, and that's high praise coming from me. That's my beer of choice if I'm ever having to drink more than one beer. So well done, 5 points. It was lovely to meet you when I met you, and hopefully I'll see you this weekend if I get the chance to go down. And definitely check them out. If this beer is anything to go by, I'm sure the whole range is fantastic, and I do have several more of their bottles that I got at the Vegan Beer Festival as well, so I should be trying them sometime soon. So expect some very, very bad cinematography probably for myself, and probably very bad camera quality, although I'm going to take this camera down with me from the Great British Beer Festival. So I shall see you all after the weekend. Like, favourite, comment, subscribe as usual. Tell me if you've ever tried 5 points or this pale ale in particular. And I shall see you all on the next beer review. Cheers.